scribble, scribble, scribble. Just nonstop scribbling.
There's so much texture in this building.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's just great stuff. And so then she puts on the trogs, or no, then we see the exterior of her building, and there's that now she's probably using a smaller diameter or something or other to draw the moon here. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to imagine what size, like that's the dime, and the other one was probably a quarter.
Yeah, a quarter or something like that. Yeah. It's
just so great to look at. Exterior of the building, cross hatching, and boy, it's just. It just seems like it would have been fun to be drawing like this. Like,
yeah.
You who has time to sit around and doodle?
They must have actually been in school.
Yeah.
There's no other way you would have that much time.
Yeah, this is a 10-year-old girl who isn't getting her classwork done.
Yeah. No need anymore. She's a legend.
Okay, so real quickly with this story, because we're going to just talk about the art for pretty much the whole book. The real broad strokes of this story are: we meet Karen. She's turned herself into the wolf, a werewolf, because the moon is out.
Well, I guess so you'd say we meet this girl as she's turning into a werewolf.
Right.
And then we hear like her howls like echo throughout the city. And we get all these great, like, city shots of all these, like, city characters, being upset and, like, saying, like, kill the monster, like, hey, like, we hate this sound, like, whatever is making that sound, like, needs to die. Like, it's, the city is creating a mob to destroy this howling beast that's getting all the other dogs to howl in the city.
Yeah, so an unruly mob forms, and this is so we find out later that this is a reoccurring nightmare of the young.
I guess that's the ending of it.
That's the ending there, but this is a cool way to meet her.
Well, I don't know if we need to cut to that far. I mean, I guess that is the ending, but there's some good story in here.
Yeah, so there's great story in here.
So so the girl, she's a werewolf, and she's howling, and all the dogs are howling. She can't control herself as a werewolf, and all the city's getting mad because this noise. So they make this mob, and then they come after her, and she's like locked in this room, and they come at her with like silver bullets, and they shoot her.
And they shoot her. But there's a few little paragraphs here and there that really sort of solidify humans versus like what humans are. Like, humans are afraid to die, and there's a sweaty guy with a gun who's about to shoot her, and she puts all of this paragraph of like what it must be like to be a human in this situation. It's just eloquent.
Oh, yeah, empathizing with the person who's shooting at her.
Yeah, I thought that was
like,
really
I'm
cool.
this werewolf, but there's this guy who's shooting, and he's hesitating for a second, and but then she does get shot. Yeah. And that's when we get the reveal that it was all a dream, and that there's just rustling outside the window, and she had a nightmare, and her mom is checking to make sure. Did you have the villager dream again, Karen?
Yes. Yeah, yeah. And, so I'm looking at going back to this art, it's just so fun to...
But then when you go to her dream, sleeping, it's its own art, it's its own, a totally different style. It's not totally different, but it's definitely a different style.
Are you talking about the mob?
No, at the very end, like at the end.
Oh, yeah, the scratchy.
When she becomes Karen and she's no longer the monster.
Right. Is this right after she gets shot? Oh, no,
yeah,
when she goes
after she gets shot.
When she goes to sleep with her mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you just see these little, this this page here, one little page has got so much going on. So you see her,
it almost looks like it's drawn with fingerprints.
Oh, sometimes, yeah, she gets so close with, like it is almost like fingerprints, but it's cross-hatching. It's the, yeah.
No, yeah, it's just very, very detailed.
Yeah, it almost looks like a fingerprint, but this one page where she is, you see her mom just sort of like this lady who's like asleep and like just her eyes are just slits, and it's really, really detailed, very well drawn, very realistic too, lots of shading, lots of, you can, like this is good proportionate, like good proportion drawing. But then like above it, like this is how you would doodle in your notebook. This is almost like, sketches of a setup. Like here's a above the bed shot of her. Here's a close up shot of her. Here's a picture of her on the floor drawing what she is, just showing how her process. And then,
it all blends very well together.
And then here's the tiniest little tiny drawing of her opening up her mom's door, and then there's this bigger, almost the whole bottom of this page is that really nice drawing of her mom sleeping and asking her if she's had that villager dream again. Yeah. Just great stuff. And then, then
this page is this might even be my favorite page.
No. So this is back one page, right? Is it back two pages? Oh, it's the double page mob scene.
Oh, that double page mob scene is very good.
This is really cool. So this is in the height of her dream.
Yeah. So she's the monster. She's afraid the mob's coming after her, and the mob is coming after her, and there's a lot of people. Yeah. And so we get a 2-page with the notebook ruling spiral bound notebook in the middle, bridge in the middle, but it looks like it's almost like a Pixar movie.
Yeah, you see this sort of, the shading.
So detailed.
The shading and the detailing and the uplight here is just awesome.
But like the kind of characters they are almost like, they're a little cartoonish, but they're not, I don't know where to place it.
Okay, so over on the left.
Because you said the people were like disproportionate.
Yeah, so I'm looking at this like the guy who's got like the chef who's missing a tooth. And you see his, like, Popeye, like, you see that arm. It's huge. And he's got a spatula in his arm.
Yeah.
Like, that's disproportionate and it looks, it's not quite there.
But the thing is, they're the monsters. And so they're supposed to be, like, exaggerated or cartoonish, right?
No, this is the mob. These are the humans coming after.
I think the moral of the story, like, she really does a good job of, like, painting the story of, like, the mob mentality. Like, you're a monster if you fall into it. Like, you're going after and you're destroying this thing that you think is a monster, but you're really the monster.
Oh, that's so neat.
Like, I've heard this argument about, like, Frankenstein. They say, oh, it's really Frankenstein's monster. Frankenstein was the doctor or whatever.
Yeah.
But really, the argument is that Dr. Frankenstein was the monster, and that the Frankenstein's monster was just an innocent victim, and he's not really a monster at all. When you think of, like, monster and a different,
right.
morality.
I guess.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I thought these like, the guy with the big eyes who has the pitchfork.
Now you will recognize that, and she does.
Yeah, that's the
American Gothic.
American Gothic. There you go.
From Grant Wood is the painter, and you will see this. And she does this throughout the book. I've read almost half of. I've almost read half of this graphic novel. It's pretty girthy, and there's a lot to look at. And she will go back. And her brother, not to tell too much, her brother is interested in art, her older brother, and they spend a lot of time at the Chicago Art Institute, the museum in Chicago.
I've been there. That has the pointillism. The big.
It's in there. The George or the John Surratt, and
with the people on umbrellas at the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that thing is so big.
Yeah.
It's very impressive how big it is.
And this American Gothic painting is there also. I've seen it there as well.
Ah, yes.
And so she puts these little little Easter eggs. I just love them. And
I love that.
And she spends a little time inside the graphic novel giving, like her and her brother go to the art, go to the museum, and they go inside the paintings.
Oh, that's cool.
And you'll have fun with that too. So that's
really cool.
That's a bit of a spoiler, but the story here, again, this is just the tip of the iceberg of where this story heads.
But it holds itself. It shows her as like this person who empathizes with monsters and who like feels like an outsider. It shows off all this different kinds of art style. It does a lot in 18 pages of a first issue for having a lot of pages not have any words.
It certainly does, and it also does
although there are a few pages that have hundreds of words.
Yeah, they are pretty wordy.
There's like 2 or 3 or 4 pages that have like 100 words, 200 words.
Well, I don't know how you were when you were 10 years old, but I was not this, I did not see as much as this little girl sees.
Yeah.
And she puts it all here in this graphic form. She has her stories.
Wait, it's not a real 10-year-old girl who made it.
No.
Phew.
But
I would have felt bad about myself.
Yeah, like what did I do?
Like, holy moly.
Yeah, so, but this 10-year-old girl...
No, I would have been proud of her.
Yeah.
Good job, little girl.
This 10-year-old girl doesn't miss any details including the little green dot in her mom's eye that she imagined is a tree that she can hide underneath when the monsters come, and
including okay, we didn't even talk really about my favorite art page, but which is crazy because we talked about art the whole time. But there's one page where it's a guy saying "kill the monster," and the guy has like a anchor tattoo on his neck. And he's in front of the Uptown Broadway building.
Yeah, I saw that. He's got warts on his face too.
Okay, but that building, the archway of that building, like it has like the faded stucco in the wall, and like it's so like I've never seen a sketch of a building that detailed before.
Yeah.
Like in anything.
4707 Uptown Broadway building.
But look at the like little, it's like the little emblems on it.
Yeah, he doesn't.
But they're faded in like the way that it really would be in the building.
Yeah.
You know, like things are more precise or less precise that actually would have been rubbed away in like it's very photorealistic.
Yeah, but you know she drew this. This is
and
art.
But then he had the character of the person on top of it that isn't photorealistic but still blends in with it.
Yeah. So I said he had warts, but I guess he doesn't have warts on his face. He just has that neck tattoo.
Yeah, neck tattoo.
And like
the
giant
person before,
ear.
the person after him there's a different character who has warts on their face.
Yeah, I saw the guy with the warts on his face.
The one that says "Let's smoke that freak." Got a whole page.
Oh yeah, there he is. He's got ugly warts and a funny hat.
Yeah.
And a funny shirt too.
Kind of a monster, that character.
Yeah. Everybody kind of has a monster face too.
Yeah.
Tattoo neck guy has a monster face. Yeah, that is a great page. All these pages are amazing. But yeah, I mean, just that's one page that you could just easily have flipped past and just, oh, there's that one. There's a page.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, this is just so much fun. Yeah, so this little girl doesn't miss any of these details, and maybe that's just something that kids do see. They just have the time to look at things.
To look at every detail.
And that's what I would call the end of this first issue.
Well, I guess I would say there's this little, like, I actually really like this kind of poetic, philosophical part at the end where she looks into her mother's eye and her mother's eye has like this green wedge and she imagines that it's a green island where she goes and like finds peace.